Good afternoon, students. Today we are going to talk about discover the past. Okay. Read the text about this building and discuss the questions. What is the building? Where is it? Why do visitors go there? Okay. Now we are going to see this picture. Pay attention. Birmingham Museum and Art Gallery is a famous museum in central England with lots of different exhibitions. Visitors can learn about local history and see archaeological objects over 1,000 years old. At the moment, there is a special exhibition of objects from the Anglo-Saxons. Anglo-Saxons, people living in England 1,000 years ago. People, personas que vivían en Inglaterra hace 1000 años. Exhibition, when a museum or gallery shows objects or paintings to visitors. Okay. So now we have to answer. What is the building? It is Birmingham Museum and Art Gallery, like we see in this picture. Where is it? In central England. Why do visitors go there? Visitors go to find out about local history and see old archaeological objects. Okay. Number 2, do you have museums in your town or city? Do you visit them? Why and why not? Here you have to answer with your own words o de acuerdo a su propio criterio, ¿no? You have museums in Pucallpa, you visit them, why and why not? Okay. This you can do in your worksheet. Okay, now we are going to listen to an interview with 2 visitors to the museum. Okay, pay attention.
Hello, I work for the museum and we'd like to interview visitors. Your answers can really help the museum in the future.
Yes, okay then.
Great. So, my first question is, are you here to visit all of the museum or are you here to see one exhibition?
Actually, I'm interested in the exhibition of Anglo-Saxon objects.
Oh, that's good.
Yes, it's very exciting. because I read a lot of history books about the Anglo-Saxons.
Okay. And how do you know about the exhibition?
I read an article about the exhibition in the newspaper.
Excuse me, I work for the museum. Can I ask you some questions about your visit today? Sure. What kind of questions? Well, my first question is this. Are you here to visit all of the museum, or are you here to see one exhibition? I don't know, really. My children have a school project about archaeology and history, so we came here. It's my first time in a museum. Really? Is it interesting? Not for me. I think history is boring, but my children are excited. Oh, well, are they interested in a special period of history? I don't know. I'll ask them. Kids? Kids!
Okay. So now we have to answer these questions. Okay. Why does he ask visitors about their experience at the museum? Okay. I think this is to help improve the museum. And what is improve? Improve es mejorar. Para ayudar a mejorar el museo. Okay. Number 2, does the woman visit all of the museum or one exhibition? Okay. I think she only visit one exhibition. Okay. All of these are in this interview. This interview, this text, it's on your worksheet. So you can read and answer. Okay? For example, the first question, or the second, does the human visit all the museum or one exhibition? The interviewer, are you here to visit all of the museum or are you here to visit to see one exhibition? Actually, I'm interested in the exhibition of Anglo-Saxon objects, okay? That's only one. That's all the information is in interview. How does she know about the exhibition? Why is the man at the museum with his children? Does he often visit museums? All of these answers are in the interview. And this interview, you have it on your worksheet. Esta entrevista la tienen en su hoja de trabajo. La información está en sus manos para responder las preguntas. Okay. You just have to read. Ustedes solo tienen que leer. Now we are listening again and choose the adjective you hear in this sentence, okay? Pay attention. Here is the transcription.
Hello, I work for the museum and we'd like to interview visitors. Your answers can really help the museum in the future.
Yes, okay then.
Great. So, my first question is, are you here to visit all of the museum or are you here to see one exhibition?
Actually, I'm interested in the exhibition of Anglo-Saxon objects.
Oh, that's good.
Yes, it's very exciting because I read a lot of history books about the Anglo-Saxons.
Okay. And how do you know about the exhibition?
I read an article about the exhibition in the newspaper.
Excuse me, I work for the museum. Can I ask you some questions about your visit today? Sure. What kind of questions? Well, my first question is this. Are you here to visit all of the museum or are you here to see one exhibition? I don't know, really. My children have a school project about archaeology and history, so we came here. It's my first time in a museum. Really? Is it interesting? Not for me. I think history is boring, but my children are excited. Oh, well, are they interested in a special period of history? I don't know. I'll ask them. Kids? Kids!
Now you have to choose the adjective you hear in this sentence, okay? I'm interested or interesting in the exhibition of Anglo-Saxon objects. Okay. I think it's interested. Interesado. Okay. Number two, it's very exciting because I read a lot of history books. It's very exciting. Okay. You just have to read in the interview to find the adjective here, okay? So number 3, 4, and 5, you have to do it looking at the interview. Okay. Next. Complete the sentence with the correct form of the adjectives. Interested, interesting. Okay. All Roman coins are very interesting. Okay, son muy interesantes. I'm not very interested in history. Here, bored or boring, okay? This exercise, you're going to do it yourself. Okay? I'm going to do this. TV programs about history are very, one of these, just one of these, boring. Son muy aburridos. Okay? Boring. So you have to work this way. You have to choose one of these. And in numbers 5 and 6, one of these. Excited or exciting? Okay. Next. Discuss the questions as a class. Do you think history is boring, interesting, exciting? What do you think as a class? You can choose one. History for me, in my case, is interesting, no more. No, no me apasiona, no me excita, tampoco me es aburrido. Creo que algunas cosas son interesantes de la historia. Number 2, are you interested in a special period of history? For example, Romans, Egyptians, Aztecs, Incas. Incas, creo que me parece interesante la historia de los Incas. Nuestra historia. Okay. Read the newspaper article about the Anglo-Saxon objects at Birmingham Museum. Answer the question. Ok, primero leemos, después absorbemos las preguntas. A ver. Anglo-Saxon gold under the ground. The Anglo-Saxon people lived in England 1,000 years ago. They worked in the fields and they were also famous for their metal work and jewelry. They made beautiful objects from gold and silver. De oro y plata. Ellos hicieron objetos bellos de oro y plata. In 2009, Birmingham Museum and Art Gallery received a phone call about some gold and silver objects in a field near Birmingham. The next day, archaeologists studied the objects. They were from the Anglo-Saxon period. In the end, the archaeologists took 1,500 objects from under the ground. Birmingham Museum showed the objects in 2009, and thousands of visitors came. In fact, the museum moved the exhibition to a bigger building because so many people wanted to see them. The final value of the object was $3,285 million, but for many archaeologists, they are priceless. Priceless no tiene precio. Value, valor. Value de costo, or price of something, no? Priceless to describe an object with no price because it is so important. Por la importancia que tiene, no tiene precio. Okay. Now we have to answer number 1. When were the Anglo-Saxons in England? They were 1,000 years ago. Eso es lo que dice la historia. What were they famous for? Metalwork and jewelry. Trabajo en metal y joyería, ¿no? Number 3, where were the metal objects? Under the ground, in a field. Okay, the next question you're going to answer. Reading this article, okay? How many objects were there? Eso está en el artículo. Were people interested in them? También. What was the final value of the objects? También es una información que está en el artículo. Continuamos. Read the first paragraph of the newspaper article again. Answer the questions. El primer párrafo. Aquí está. Nosotros ya lo hemos leído. A ver qué preguntas son. Is the paragraph about the past or the present? It is the past, of course. It's about the past. Underline the past form of these verbs. Live, work, make. Live it, work it, make. Okay. Vamos a terminar. Look at the grammar box. Which two verbs above are regular, which is irregular? Okay. Here, live it and work it are regular, and make is irregular. Okay, that's all. We're going to read this grammar box. Past simple, affirmative, regular and irregular verbs. We talk about the finished actions and events in the past with verbs in the past simple tense. Okay. Regular verbs, we add ed or d to verbs play, played, die, died. Okay. Irregular verbs, many common verbs have irregular forms in the past. Simple. Become, became, get, got, go, went, meet, met. Okay. These are irregular verbs. Okay, we're going to see this grammar too. Past simple, affirmative, regular and regular verbs. Okay. Affirmative, regular, I worked. Irregular, I went. Okay. Verbs only have one form in the past simple. Regular verbs, we add ed to regular verbs to form the past simple. Work, worked, walk, walked, play, played. Notice the spelling rules for other regular verbs. The verbs ending in e, we add d, leave it, decide, decided, okay. For two-syllable verbs ending in Y, we change the Y to I and add ed. Study, studied. For verbs ending in vowel plus consonant, not W, X, or Y. We double the consonant stop, stop, trouble, trouble. Okay. We double the consonant T and L here. In irregular verbs, many common verbs have an irregular affirmative form in the past simple. Be, was, were. Do, did. Go, went. Make, made. Get, got. Cost, cost. Same. Use. We use the past simple to talk about finished actions and events in the past. We often use a time phrase. Yesterday, last week, 10 years ago, with the past simple, they lived 1,000 years ago. He contacted the museum last week. Okay. These are the use. Okay, now we answer all these questions, so we go to the next. Underline the other past simple verbs in the newspaper article, which are regular and which are irregular. Okay, we have to underline here in the article. Lived, worked, made, received, studied, took, showed, moved, wanted. What of these are regular and what are irregular? For example, lived is regular. Worked to, made is irregular. So you have to find what is regular and what are irregular. No more irregulars. Took, irregular. The rest are regular. Showed, moved, wanted. Okay. There are two irregular, made and took. Okay. Next. Complete this text about another explorer and Tutankhamun's treasure with the past simple form of the verbs. We have to complete with the past simple form. Okay. For example, Howard Carter was born in 1874. His family lived in London, but in 1891, Carter went to Egypt and worked there as an archaeologist. Okay, this way you have to answer all of this. Okay. Cuatro, 5, 6, 7, 8. No more. The way I do this. Okay. Sometimes ed adds an extra syllable to verbs in the past simple. Listen to these regular verbs and write the number of syllables. Okay? Example.
1. Live. Lived.
Okay. In this case, number 2.
2. Decide. Decided.
3 syllables. Okay. Number 3.
3. Like. Liked.
Okay. 1 and 1. The same or leave. Here.
4. Want. Wanted.
Okay. So here is want, here wanted. 2. Okay. Same here. Pay attention.
5. Work. Worked.
Okay. 1. Work. Work. No cambia. Es uno solo. Work. Work. Number 6.
6. Start. Started.
Start. 1. Started. 2. Number 7.
7. Play. Played.
I hear just 1. Play. Play. 1. Number 8.
8. Visit. Visited.
Here 2. Visit and visited. 3. Okay. Number 9.
9. Travel. Travelled.
Trouble. 2. Trouble. Trouble. 2. Just 2. Now we have to listen again and repeat. Okay. Okay. Pay attention.
1. Live. Lived. 2. Decide. Decided.
Please repeat. Don't forget, you have to practice.
3. Like. Liked.
Pay attention and repeat.
4. Want. Wanted. 5. Work. Worked. 6. Start. Started.
7.
7. Play. Played.
8,
8. Visit. Visited.
9,
9. Travel. Traveled.
okay, next. Think of 5 important years in your life and the reason why they are important. In 2001, I lived abroad. Next, write down the 5 years, but do not write down the reason. Okay, example. In 2001, I lived abroad. Okay. Okay, you can say, like in the example, in, of course, if you are studying at university, for example, in my case, in 2016, I finished my career. I finished my career. Terminé mi carrera. Okay. In 2018, I start working okay? No more. No digamos la razón. O sea, eso no está pidiendo. But not write the reason, okay? Just el año que pasó, ¿no? Ejemplos como eso, ¿no? For example, in 2001, I visited the first time, I visited Pucallpa the first time. Visité Pucallpa la primera vez, ¿no? Por primera vez. Ejemplos como esos, ¿no? Pueden poner cuando empezaron a estudiar, ingresaron a la universidad, terminaron su carrera, o algo que les marcó, les fue importante, ¿no? Important years. O pueden poner, bueno, me comprometí, algunos me casé, y así cosas así, ¿no? Importantes, ¿no? De su vida, ¿no? Que pasaron ya, años pasados. Okay. The next. Working pair show the years to your partner and she guesses why the years are important to you. Okay. Solamente tenemos que mostrar el año. For example, yeah, in 1995, you went to the university in 1995. You started your first job. Yes, correct. Okay. Están adivinando acá, ¿no? Tú dices 1995. Y el compañero dice, you went to university in 1995. You started your first job. Yes, correct. That's the answer. Okay, here. De esa manera practican, ¿no? Pueden poner aquí un par de ejemplos y ya con eso sería suficiente. Okay, we finish with the class. Take care. Stay at home, please. Bye-bye.